Hello, welcome to this video. This is a continuation from the video which shows how to join with the zigzag. I have now arrived at the last square which I'm going to join, and then I'm going to show you how I do the border. So let's just attach the last one. Take my yarn, which I have in a cut off Coke container. Make a slip knot. Join the wrong sides together. All this is shown in the video on joining with a single crochet. I'll go into the spaces created by the corner, bring it through, slip knot, pull that tight, another slip knot, and that's a nice tight join. Let me just zoom in for that. And now I chain one and start off the row. And I will work across the row by joining my two squares together through the top V's. I worked across the row. There's a video on this, so I'm not going to go into much detail. I've come to the corner, pulling it through, chaining one, and working back into that corner space with a single crochet, pulling it nice and tight. There we go. Let me just get this right. Finding that first stitch, first V in the pink, finding the first V in the blue, single crochet it together, and then I'm going to work all the way along until I come to the end. I'm almost at the end. What I need to do now is chain one, make a slip knot, slip stitch into that. Now make a slip knot, was I called a slip knot because I'm going to be cutting the yarn and pulling it through. And now the blanket, all the squares are sewn together. There we go. To sew the edge on this blanket, the border, I've decided to use exactly the same stitch as I did for the squares. So I'm not going to use a scallop or anything like that. It's going to be US terms, double crochet in clusters of 3. And there is no chain between the clusters on the sides of the square, and in the corner there is one chain. This is worked with the reverse, which means that every row I'm working from the opposite side of the square. And so to start off, the first row will not be on the side because this is the correct side, I'm going to start off working from that side of the blanket, which you could call actually the back side, but I'm doing that to keep these rows true, working one from each side. When I come to the join or the junction, whether it is the join or the junction that is the start of the join, or whether it's the end of the join, those junctions will be identical. So let's get started with that. I folded up the blanket simply so that it would fit into the camera. It doesn't really matter where I start, as long as I make sure that I'm starting on the side opposite, or not opposite, on the back where the previous row was worked. That's the most important thing. And that I'm using a yarn that's compatible. So these are DKs, this is a DK, and I'm using the same hook that I did the work with, just to make sure that the stitches will be the same. Let me find the beginning of the yarn. I will start it off as I do when I'm attaching any color to a square. So just imagine that I was only working on that square. If it was a square and I was just adding a new color, I'm going to do it in exactly the same way. The only difference is I'm not going around a square, I'm going around the whole blanket. So I might as well just start here. I'm going to insert it, pull it through, make the first loop, pull this one a little bit, but not too much. Let me zoom in for that. So it looks like a single crochet. Chain one more, and that is going to count as my first double crochet. US terms, and treble crochet in the UK. I am not going to make a cluster of 3 to start off with. I'm actually going to make 2, and when I'm finished the whole row, I'll come back here and I will just pop in the last stitch there. So I'm making another double crochet, and then I'm immediately going to the next gap. I'll make a cluster of 3. Go to the next gap and make a cluster of 3. I have a tutorial on how to make a compact granny square. I call these compact granny squares. This one happens to have a flower in the middle, but the technique is the same, whether the compact granny square only has one color or many colors, or whether it has a central motif. Once I get to the granny square section, the stitches are the same. Come to the corner, I've chained 1, and I am now going to make 3 more double crochets in the corner, going to the next hole, gap, space between clusters, and I will continue like that all the way along. Now this white yarn, I've noticed, is a little bit thicker than some of these. It is thicker definitely than this color here, but it is probably in the same school as the blue and as the purple, as this blue here. It's the same as that one as well. So I'm hoping that across the blanket it will even itself out. because even though yarns can be advertised as a particular yarn, for instance this is a DK, I've noticed there are thick DKs and there are thin DKs, there's stiff DKs and there's springy ones. Oh, I don't like that. Caught something there, that's a shame. Let me try that again. One. He's just done it again. I'd forgotten that this maroony color, purpley maroony color, had a tendency to do that. So now I'm coming to the corner, and this is the big moment. Let me pull this down. Whoops. See if I can not have the back as a distraction. I don't know what is happening to my focus. Some days I have good focus, and other days it's absolutely crazy. Try to adjust it on my camera. We have a group of 3, and we have a space. That little thread, tuck it away. And we have another group of 3, and you have a little space. So as you can see, whenever there's a space, I've made 3. So what I have done is, I have on my other blanket, I have gone in to this first one, and then I've made literally half of a stitch, and then I've gone to that one and I've made half of a stitch, and then I've completed the stitch. So what has actually happened is I have made a double crochet with 2 little legs, and then I've made another double crochet and I've completed it. This technique is used in making these puffs. You make a whole bunch of them, but you don't complete, and then when you come right to the end, you pull a thread through and you have made like a little puff. So from the top you can see it's got 3 little V's, just as the other ones, but underneath it's got that. And I've gone to the next space and I have continued with my normal 3 double crochets in a space. Gone to the next one and made 3 double crochets in the space, and I've continued like that. So this is what you're going to do every time you come to a join. I'm going to work along, and then when I come to the next join I'll show you. It's clearer with this one, with the blue. So here I am. I have a group of 3. I have a group of 3. I have the corner spaces, and I have the join. I'm going to be working double crochet into that one, double crochet into that one, and also each space is going to get a little half leg. So let's go ahead with that. Take this tail out the way, double crochet, first part of the double crochet, skip over to the other hole, first part of the double crochet, complete it, and another double crochet. And that's how I did it. And I worked all the way around doing exactly that. You zoom out. There'll be 4 corners. Corners I've respected what the pattern is, which is chain 1. If I had a different type of square here, this was a completely different type of square, then obviously my border will be completely different. So this border is relevant to these types of squares. You would have to adapt it. If you have a completely different kind of border because you've got a different kind of square, then obviously you'd have to adapt your join there. So this video is just showing this particular method. And I will continue with that, and I will come back after I've finished this row, because I'll be doing, I'm assuming, more than 1 row, but I'll make that evaluation when I've completed the row. Okay, so let me go and finish that. I have completed the first row of white. I've done this on the kitchen floor because I really needed somewhere flat, completely flat. I wanted to see what was happening. Now with the blue, it's bulging, but it's not doing that with the other colors. You can see that I'm hoping that if I do another 2 rows, that's going to even out, because I don't like that bulge. See, it's on the blue. It's not on this one here, not on the purple, not on the red, not even on this one. A little bit on the pink. So I'm just going to continue, but I got to honor the fact that I'm reversing every row. So now that I've come to the end of the row, here it is. I'm here. I'm going to complete that, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to work from this side and continue and make 2 more rows. I've added 2 rows at this point, and I will be adding more, but I thought I would just make a little video to show how to work the ends away. Let me see if I can find a decent needle. I was looking for a size 18, but I've only found a size 20. It will have to do. So let me see if I can really zoom in. So let's look at the makeup. We have that knot, and we have a chain. The beginning or the end looks pretty much the same. I'm using a chenille needle. It's got a sharp point. Thread the yarn. And what I want to do is I want to anchor this. So I'm going to just go through the fibers. There we go. Nice secure knot. Go back in. Okay, that's good. So that will be the front. I'm going to turn the work over. Where am I? Here. I'm now in the back. Anchoring it again. You can really feel that it's caught inside there. And then I'm going to work across to get into the white. And it's one of the reasons why I like to work the border with the same color. And then I go up, and I'll work away the tail the way I work away all my tails. Unravel it a bit by turning the needle. I can come out a bit. There we go. And follow the stitches all the way over to this little squiggly here. Unravel it a bit more. Biting into the purple as well. Sharp pointed needles break the fibers apart, unlike a darning needle, which tends to shift everything aside. That's good enough. And then that's it. That's what it looks like from the back. That's what it looks like from the front. I have got the other blanket that I was looking for, and I want to show you how I did it on this one. I'm going to zoom out. So you can see where it ends. But what I did on this one here, and I'm not 100% happy with it. I will be working on those edges. This is the back. Let's find the front. What I actually did was backing. What I did was I took the tail and I closed the whole thing, sewed everything together. But you can feel that it's a bit stiff, more stiff than the other one. And I don't think I'm 100% happy with that either, but I did try that way, just to carry the color in. I have not found a way that really suits me. So yeah, that's a work in progress. I would like that to look exactly like that. And there is bound to be a way to do it. So I will get there. Maybe make the middle stitch, actually using this as the post to go around instead of going down. Maybe I should go across, but I'll find a way. So with this one, I'm trying it differently. I'm literally just working that into its own and then leaving those stitches to float as they are. It is gaping a bit. As I said, it's probably not the ideal finish. I'm hoping that once it's washed and blocked, it's going to fall into place. But I think I want to add at least another row, maybe in a different color. I haven't quite decided. And there we go. So that's that. I will post a picture or a little video once it's completed. Behind this one, so you'll just basically, for you it'll be a second, but for me it will not be a second, but I'll splice all the videos together. Okay, thanks for watching.